To the US now, and in the last hour, Donald Trump has been speaking from the Oval Office, where he was hosting the president of the Philippines. Asked about the Epstein files, he said the Department of Justice interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell would be appropriate, and he described the calls to publish the files as a witch hunt. US correspondent David Blevins is in Washington for us. And David, he also had former President Obama in his sights.
That's right. President Trump continues to fight a fire that is somewhat of his own making. You'll remember how often during the election campaign he and his supporters claimed, or at least implied, that the Jeffrey Epstein client list was being concealed by what they describe as the deep state. But once he found himself back in the White House, his Attorney General released some files, but when those files didn't contain this so-called client list, she said it didn't exist, and that effectively turned the tables, because those who had followed the conspiracy from the outset then believed it was this administration that was concealing the Jeffrey Epstein client list. Now, the latest twist to this saga is that the Department of Justice in the United States has said it wants to speak to Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, who is herself serving a 20-year sentence for procuring minors. And when asked about that today, the president said he knew very little about it. Let's just hear exactly what he had to say.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
Do you have any concern that your Deputy Attorney General, as your former attorney, would be conducting the interview, given...
No, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it. I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt.
So they've gone from saying they're going to release the client list to saying the client list doesn't exist, to criticising even their own supporters for daring to ask questions about this. And last weekend, the president filed a lawsuit against Rupert Murdoch, two journalists from the Wall Street Journal and the paper's owner News Corp, for publishing a letter which they allege he sent to Jeffrey Epstein. He describes that letter as a fake. And today he did what he often does, deflected to Barack Obama, accusing the former president of leading a conspiracy to sabotage the 2016 election and subsequent Trump presidency. But if he thinks that's going to quieten this storm, I think it's very unlikely to, because it creates the impression that the president is saying, look over here, don't look over there.
Yeah, OK, David, thank you very much.